Apple snatched my Big Sur that I made and created a virtual machine disk out of it and made it so it's not what's the words I'm looking for? Made it so that like it can't be erased, it can't be fixed, and it can't be mounted. I don't know what they're doing with me. I don't know why they're why they gave me it. Let it install perfectly and then take it away. So I don't know what Apple's doing, but look at this. If you notice in this build, I gotta make the screen bigger. Um, the screen is shifting, the UI is shifting, and what I did was I detached my optical mouse to so I can show you guys because I'm having a lot of problems with um, virtualization because I use so much virtualization on a daily basis. Basically, look look at the UI on the Mac OS recovery. And just a minute ago, the utilities and all of that stuff was there, and now it's gone. This UI frame never is supposed to change. But I have a very high end laptop, and the USB pad, the touchpad, is very sensitive, and you can install drivers to either like set what's the word I'm looking for? Use your biotech, what is that? Biotech features. Your biometrics. It can sense your biometrics. That's what they're doing with this beta testing shit. Because when because I disconnected the mouse and I'm moving it with my hand, this whole UI has moved up. Now look at the entire black frame edge, okay? That UI, now look at it, moving again. Do you see it moving? This is what you call beta testing. So I'm fucked now, basically. I mean, I like it, but not when you work really hard to make something happen, and when you finally something you get lucky and something great happens and then it gets taken away from you, it's not fun. Like for example, I'm having a 4 terabyte drive having to be data extracted because of a shitty cable, and I didn't have the money to invest in a more expensive device, so I had to get this shittier one. And now I sacrifice having all my data once again being extrapolated from me, like the Chinese did when they hacked me back last year. They took down 2 of my Macs that were online. I watched it happen live, and then they took my PC down. But look at I can move the I around. There, okay, utilities are back. Okay. So we can. So they're just having fun and whatever. I mean, I love Apple, but I haven't even set up my MacBook Pro yet on purpose. And they know I have it. Everyone fucking knows I got a fucking MacBook Pro. And I'm like, so a lot of people have it. That's not unusual. I just took me a long time to get it because they're expensive. But my point is, I'm like all about everything free, cheap, 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 free, 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 cheap, cheap, cheap. Okay, so let's try to install it. It's not going to, but we can try. So this is how I got it. I'll just tell you my secrets, how I got it to work last time was now it probably was just a fluke. I used a pre-built VMDK that was like released that week by TechViewer. They had just come out with Catalina 10.15.5. I think and that was the last version before Mac OS 11 was starting to become like available publicly. So I was lucky to be able to download it because a lot of times they'll upload, release software not via Apple. Apple has no control of it. That's why they gave us the 7 lines of code. And then people it will get in the hands of certain people, and then you won't see it anymore. Either it's taken down by Apple or whatever. But these people are making these virtual machines like cookie cutter or like pancakes, so you can just toss out the window. You know what I'm saying? So I got lucky to use that Catalina. Basically, it was just a free gigabytes, like a free 100 gigabytes. And I figured, well, why do I don't have the space? I'm constantly running out of space. I don't have another 100 gigabytes because I have so many virtual machines that I test and work on daily. I don't have another 100 gigabytes. I'll just use this as a test. I mean, it's already APFS formatted, but technically, I've heard two people arguments. Some say, okay, well, HFS, I mean, I'm getting HFS and then FS and HFS journal and super chunk. Oh God, okay. Let me think about this. There's two schools because there's some people that say you're supposed to always use Mac OS Extended journaled regardless if it like Catalina, I think was the only, and Mojave. I don't even know if Mojave was mandatory APFS volumes, or it was just Catalina that was mandatory APFS file structure. I think it was Catalina. So, anyways, it was already APFS. And then when Big Sur, this was months ago, first was coming out, they were saying, okay, you have to, when you install it, it has to be APFS. And I did it the opposite. I formatted it OS journaled. I swear to God, you guys, that thing booted in. Like I have partial video of it, but I don't have the full video, so I won't be able to upload it because it's just basically watching the screen and timing it, how fast it loaded. That thing went from like virtual machine start to load to the install screen where you could start where we are now in like 1.8 minutes. I'm not joking you. I am not. That's how high tech like Apple has gotten, and people like I'm like tripping on. I'm like, wow. I don't like Big Sur, the actual interface. Well, I haven't got to see a lot of the subtleties yet because the one version that I did have, I wouldn't log on to it that much because I was like trying to save it from not getting broken, and that's exactly what happened. They snatched that thing back because it was a perfect VMD key. I'm sure somebody's replicating it already because it had two admin logins, so someone's already got that password and information. Two admin logins, and it was I split it up. I think I made it into a VMDK from two VDIs. I forget. Anyways, it was working great. And by the way, the OVA that I exported, that OVAs always work. It doesn't work for my shit. Doesn't work for Big Sur. Both of my OVAs that I exported and saved before the whole shit happened 2 days ago when I was fucking around with Syntech Solutions, their fucking Mojave disk was attached to one of my virtual machines, and then it caused my Big Sur virtual machine to become detached, and it wasn't even running. This is the kind of shit that happens in this environment, you guys. I promise you, you've got to be careful. You have to be careful. They're watching everything you do. Like right now, I can't even like they're just probably having fun listening to me. Like I got some weird subscriber on YouTube for what I don't know because I know nobody really watches this. It's me for more. I do the screen recording for documentation purposes, but every once in a while somebody might chime in. Anyways, that's what's going on, and I have to. I'm trying to learn all these like software languages. I install like Anaconda, Jupyter Notebooks, now PyCharm, now fucking Django. I don't even know what